Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So I have done a lot of raking. Just show you the map a minute. I have raked here, I have raked here, I have raked here, I've raked all up and down here, all up and down here, round here, and a bit up there. So we have got loads of grass that we need to go and pick up. And I was thinking that we would use the Zeta to pull the Forager, and then we could use our Massey Ferguson to pull the trailer. I did a little bit of work for someone last night and got some money. So I have leased the Forager and I have bought the trailer bit to go on the what do you call it? The IT runner. I've bought the trailer bit to go on the IT runner because what I thought was it would actually be better if we owned that one because it's something that we would use again. I figured that that wouldn't be out of the way to go and use that one again. So yeah, I forked out all the money necessary to buy that one, and that left us with not very much at all. And by the time we spent the night, because it was starting to get quite late, we got a bit of milk from the cattle and everything, but we still dropped by 2,000 euros, which meant that I now had, or then had, minus 1,600, which is not enough. So what I've done is I've cut down this tree, and I've been putting a few branches into our fireplace over there, because what we need is to be able to change the wheels on the Zeta, so that we can use that one to tow the Forager. And we can't use the Zeta as it is because it's got the narrow tyres. I didn't really want to do that, so we're going to have to go and spend the €1,000 that it costs in order to be able to get the work done, because we haven't gone and bought ourselves a workshop yet, which was probably a bit of an oversight on our part, but yeah, we can live with that. So we're just spooning a bit of this in here. My question I asked you last week was, did you want me to use belts or did you want me to use the Kramer in order to put the silage into the biogas plant? So I have tallied up all... Ooh, hang on, let me just... There we go. Right, I've tallied up all of your answers, and we had 2,462 responses to that question, which was absolutely fantastic. And... there we go. 368 people thought I should use the Kramer, and 2,094 people thought that I should be using conveyor belts. So conveyor belts is what we will be using. A few people said that we need to be careful when using conveyor belts because you can only put in 50,000 litres at a time, and anything over that just kind of gets lost into the abyss. I'm not quite sure why it would disappear into the abyss, but it does. So you can only put 50,000 litres in, then you've got to stop, and obviously if there's any break in the stream of silage that is being fed in and sold, the money lowers down, the money changes. But it would do that with a bucket anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. Other people felt that the Kramer wouldn't be realistic. However... not the Kramer, felt that the conveyor belts wouldn't be realistic. However, somebody did tell me that they've seen an actual setup in Ohio, in the States, that uses conveyor belts to feed in silage, to do exactly what we are thinking of doing. So, and I have heard of them being done elsewhere as well. So I think that we can say that it is realistic to do this. So I don't have any fears about the realism aspect of it, because we do try to make things as realistic as we can. Obviously, it's not quite realistic stuffing great big branches like this into a fireplace, but we're still going to do it because we've now got 1,000. I'm just going to get this one extra little branch here, just to get a tiny bit more money as well. There we go. And all you've got to do is just keep grabbing it and pushing it in. It's not the easiest, but it is convenient to make just a couple thousand extra euros when we need it, just to like make ends meet and pay an important bill. And this time it's getting those wheels on there. And go on, a little bit more. Just a little bit more, that's all we want. And then we can run that one up, and yeah, we've got a few things that we need to run around. Get that one. Go on, a little bit further. Come on. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Right. come over that way and turn slightly. See, it's not very easy to feed. There we go. Right. So we've got 1,327. That is enough now to take this one up. So I will meet you up at the dealership where we will change the tyres over and we will get the Forager hitched on so that we can get over to the field ready to start our silage. But we've also got to collect our actual silage container that will be going onto the IT runner. We'll come back and we'll do that with the Massey in just a minute. Right, let's just customize this one to go back to... Do we want standard? Oh yeah, we've only got standard as an option. So customize, yes, switches it off, and there we go. So we got that one. And let me just hitch on the front weight again. We'll be glad of the front weight this time because, I mean, I suppose really this front weight might be a little bit excessive. It seems a bit big compared to the tractor. It's probably okay. And yes, I had the option to colour our trailer purple to match our other unit that we've got with the IT runner, so I did. I went ahead and I made it purple. I will be asking that as a question for the next map that we do. What colour would you like me to have everything on the map if we have colours as options? I think I'm going to leave this one here a second, and I'm going to go and get the Massey, and then we can get the IT runner ready, and then come back up here. Right, I think that we'll drop the actual container in this shed here off to the side. We'll probably be wanting to use a slurry container again. But anyway, my question for this week is a little bit different. I have got a few weeks left. I have decided that we are going to... Because I asked the question, did you want me to stop at 50 episodes? Or did you want me to run to 60 to 70 episodes? And we are now approaching 50 episodes. We'll reach 59 this week. So another 4 weeks after that, that'll take us to episode 71. Now, I don't actually know what the thing is. We're supposed to just drop off container, is it? So let's just press X. Right, pushes it off like that. You actually hear the machine increasing in volume as it shoves it back. Excellent. Put that one back there. And I'm assuming now that we just press Q to unhitch. Yes. Perfect. Right, and to put the hitch back, we press X again to fold it back up. Right. Yes, so I have got this week plus another 4 weeks, and then I'll be moving to a new map. So several of my questions from this point on are going to be largely based around what we're doing with the next map. It'll either be next week or the week after that I ask you to select which map that we're going to be moving to. But not this week. What we did in Goldcrest Valley was at one point we went round and we gathered up all of the gold nuggets that were available on the map, and then we got $1 million in, as a reward for everything that we'd done. So what I'd like to know is, in order to progress things along a little bit on this map, so that we can possibly even buy a few extra pigs. I probably won't buy extra pigs, but maybe buy a few more cows, or even go and buy a few sheep, because we haven't really looked down the bottom end of the map yet and done anything with sheep. We could buy a few other machines and basically just get things moving so that we can try to accomplish as much as we can in the next 4 weeks, or next 5 weeks at the moment. Do you want me to act as though we had done the same as we'd done on Goldcrest? The gold nuggets are not available on this map, so what I'll have to do is I'll have to edit the save game and add €1 million to the save game file so that it would be the same as if we had done that. Now, I can understand several of you not liking this idea in the slightest, but it's basically just to allow us to complete certain tasks that we want to do. And we have been talking a lot, and a lot of people have been saying in the comments, do you want me to sell all the machinery here and take the money that we earn onto our next map? Now, if I do edit in that extra $1 million, there's a couple things that I won't do. When we've got our final amount of money that we would be moving on with, we won't be taking the $1 million with us, or €1 million, I should say. That would I think that would be kind of cheating a bit, but I mean, we've earned loads of money on here anyway. This is just to kind of speed things up for the last few weeks. So I take that into account, and I would also, of course, repay any loan that we've got on this map before we sort of settle for our final amount of money. Now, if I press X, it should put the hook back so that we can get our nice new purple grain container, well, multi-purpose container, I shall say. So, yes, do you want me to add €1,000,000 to our total as though we had achieved the finding all the gold nuggets? We don't have gold nuggets option on this map, so we'll do it a slightly different way, but it would essentially be the same thing. So do you want me to add €1,000,000 to our total so that we've got extra money for the last 4 weeks of gameplay on this map? Yes or no? Head into the comment section down below. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know what your response is and why. I really want to hear everybody's point of view on this. This is quite important to me. I really want to know if you really, really hate this idea, then obviously please tell me why you absolutely detest this idea. If you think it's a great idea, again, tell me why. I want to hear your points of view on this. Now, we are going to... I think we'll turn right out of here and we'll head up towards the field. Our first load, I think we'll unhitch the Forager off of this one and put it onto the Massey, and we'll do it all in one go. So let's come round the corner there. Yes. What else was I going to say? I forgot to actually say it. I think I said it. You know, I have absolutely no idea. I was sort of trying to think of 3 things at once. If I didn't say it, it's your vote, it's your game, so let us know why, or, you know, if you want the €1,000,000, or if you don't, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner on the little white circle. I apologise for not saying that before, or repeating myself. I really genuinely can't remember if I said it or not. Yeah, I know what I was thinking about was the auto-load small bale trailer, the ongoing saga with that one, and getting it approved and uploaded and so on. The author of the new portion of the script for the trailer has been in contact with the original creator of the mod. They are going to be working together on this, and hopefully sometime soon there will be an updated version of the trailer available on Mod Hub so that everybody can use the small bale trailer for whatever they want to use it for. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. I was really pleased to hear about that. And let's just move over here. I will take this one off of auto follow, and I'm gonna unhitch that trailer right there. I'm going to move around here. We'll stop the Zeta for a minute. The Zeta, we're going to be using it, just not quite yet. And unhitch that one there. And I'll move him over here and stop him like that. And then we're going to put this tractor here onto the Forager. And we'll unfold the Forager. And then we'll get it hitched into the trailer back there and hopefully fill the trailer up. And for the rest of it, I was actually thinking that we would use the Follow Me mod so that we can put the Forager going on the Zeta and then pull the trailer with the Massey, because the Massey's got the oomph to pull the trailer, the Zeta hasn't, but then we won't have to keep hitching and unhitching everything as we go through. So O for spout out like that, and then press X to unfold it. And sometimes you've got to sort of move the machine around a little bit as you unfold. Sometimes you can get away with it. It depends on the angles and how the tyres move. You do have to be careful sometimes. But usually, most of these types of machines, when you unhitch them, you can do it in a completely stationary position. It makes no difference whatsoever. Right, the hitch is over the other side, under the spout, so back like that. And come round there. There we go. Right. So we have a John Deere Forager with... I'm going to get rid of the map. John Deere Forager with a very nice purple trailer. That is fantastic. I love this. Right. So I don't want the IT runner bit. I don't want that bit. I don't want that. I want that there. And lower the... Oh, I see. It doesn't lower the pickup. it lowers the entire machine. Look at that. Quite sure why it does it like that. That's very unusual. I've never seen a machine do it like that before. Genuinely no idea why it does that. Fold harvester, yeah, lower harvester, and then turn on. It's actually turn on combine missing, or missing turn on combine. So I'm guessing there may be an error in there somewhere. Not quite sure what the error would be. So it lowers everything down, drops it in there, and we're away. We're picking up silage. This is it. We have got a trailed forager picking up silage on our map. The grass has grown a little bit. It grew overnight, but there's not a lot that we can do about that. And let me zoom up a little bit so that we can see. Brilliant. Filling up the trailer quite nicely. I can't fault this. I know it's a little bit weird the way that it lowers down onto the ground, but that's not really an issue that I could fault. Got no problems with it whatsoever, to be honest. This is fantastic. I genuinely love this. I've seen a version of this in FS15 that would... well, basically it was for harvesting maize, and it had like a cutting head on it for harvesting maize or corn silage, maize silage, whichever you want to call it, as it went round the... you'd go into a cornfield, but it didn't have a pickup for windrows. I'm sure there must have been one around for windrows, but I've never actually found one that I could use, or found one that I thought was acceptable to use. And now here we are. We are using a trailed forager. And the one thing that has disappointed me about this game, year after year, I missed a bit there, year after year, is that Giants haven't added to their collection of... I'm trying to do this backwards. It's a little bit difficult to see where I'm going. Giants haven't added a standard in-game trailed forager because there are still a huge number of farmers around the world that use these as standard for all of their silaging needs. Not everybody uses those big self-propelled ones. You've got that one mounted one that will do the corn silage, but you've got nothing for doing this with. And I've always felt that it's a bit of a shame that Giants haven't personally added this particular machine to the map. Now, obviously, they wouldn't add John Deere. They can't, because John Deere refused to give up their license to anybody at all because they have their own version of a farming game. I've never played it, but I gotta be honest, I've not heard anything positive about it whatsoever. So I'm not quite sure why John Deere don't really want to be associated with a better game than the one that they've made themselves. But I'm sure it's good for some people. I'm sure there are people out there who like that game, and yep. I won't say anything more about it. I've just heard the most appalling reports about that game. So, yeah, I've no idea why John Deere won't sort of expand their... what's the word I'm looking? Is it repertoire? I guess so. But yeah, I don't really know why they don't want to expand a little bit further and have a few more options to their loyal fans. Because there are a lot of people that genuinely love John Deere stuff. Right, let's come on round here. So that's once round the field, and we're on half a trailer. I'm wondering if perhaps we should have used a bigger rake, and then we could be putting a bit more through each time, because we'd still be moving at roughly the same speed. Because unfortunately, the game doesn't differentiate between the speed you're moving and the quantity that you're putting in, so you don't need to slow down for a bigger windrow, whereas obviously in real life you go according to the amount of material that is going into the front of the machine. So if we were doing this in real life, we'd be going a fair bit faster than we are right now. However, this isn't all bad. This is a really, really nice machine to use, and it's a good job we do have this nice powerful tractor, because this is a lot of weight to pull up this hill. He's really struggling now. This is the steepest part of the field. Actually, this is the steepest bit that we'll have to do anywhere in order to make this work. And it's struggling just a little bit to get up this hill. We don't have the complete upgrade for this tractor, do we? We could get an engine upgrade, although we don't actually have the money to do that at the moment. Who knows? Maybe we will have the money. But not right now. And so we're on 35,000. This trailer takes 45,000 litres. And we own this trailer now. This is we did actually go and buy it because I did that extra bit of work. We actually own it. We don't own the Forager, but this is the one-time use for the Forager. And most of you, 99% of you, appear to be quite happy with me leasing for a one-time use on this map. We will set, for our next map, we're setting hard and fast leasing versus buying rules that will not be broken no matter what. And yeah, so I don't really know how they're going to turn out, but I think quite possibly next week I will ask you what map you want me to move on to. There's a few maps that I definitely won't be doing. One of the maps that I definitely won't be doing is Sandy Bay, because I'm planning to do that one on the... Let me just lift the Forager a minute. We might be able to get around this bit a little bit faster. Yeah, I won't be doing Sandy Bay, a Let's Play, because I already did Let's Play on that map in FS15, and I am planning to do time-lapse on that map. I don't know when. It might not necessarily be the next time-lapse that I do, but I will be doing time-lapse on Sandy Bay, so I'm not doing a Let's Play on that one. And I've also been asked quite a few times, I can't remember which ones it is now. Right, that's completely full. The Forager is actually still going, it's just making it disappear into the nether, so we don't really want to do that. So we'll stop right there. And I want to unhitch the trailer. Well, first of all, I'll turn it off, like that, and then forward one, unhitch the trailer, and we'll leave that one there. If I... Actually, I'm going to run forward, and I'll just drop that one down there. Okay, apparently it doesn't like being unhitched when it's unfolded, so perhaps if we fold it... Fortunately, the way that this one folds, it twists on a pivot, which doesn't drag the wheels anywhere. Right, that's a little better. It's not ideal, but it's a little bit better. Yeah, so like I said, I won't be doing Sandy Bay, and there's a couple of other really, really popular ones from FS15 that have been converted that, again, I don't really want to be using them. Not because I don't like the maps, but because everybody has done them. I'd like to look at some of the slightly more obscure maps that are equally as fantastic, but just don't have the same kind of exposure that likes of Chellington and what else was it? Was it Portland Bill? I can't remember now, but yeah, there's several like real classics that are out there and everybody knows all about them, but there's others out there that people don't know so much about. So I might use ones from the Mod Hub, I'm not quite sure yet. There's Lawfolds that I've been considering, which is the one set up in Aberdeen, I think, or near Aberdeen anyway. That's one that I've definitely been considering, and there's a couple others as well, but I'll give you more details on them next week. Now, I reckon if we use this middle one, we could put a massive amount of silage here, couldn't we? We really could. If I use this one here, we've got to use the unload anywhere function for this, and I need to go to the actual container. Right, there we go. And if I press F1, does it actually... It does give us a quantity of chaff that's in here. The only thing we're going to have to do next is get something to start levelling this chaff down. I don't know whether we should do this sort of bit by bit, do some of the chaff every now and then sort of do a couple loads and then level a load down, or if we should try to do everything all at once. I don't really know about that. That's something to think about for next episode. I think what we'll do this episode, because we are nearly finished actually, it's not going to be long before we've run to the end of the episode. So I'm going to do the same as what I did just then. I'm going to hitch the John Deere Forager onto the trailer, and I'll use the Massey to tow it across the field on this bit. And then when we move to the next area, we'll change it over and we'll have the Zeta doing the towing. The reason I'd like to do that is because that way we get to see... I need to change it over to that one to unhitch it. Yeah, that way we get to see sort of both aspects of it. We can use the Follow Me mod in our next episode, and we can do it with this one in this episode. I'll finish up this field before next episode, and then we can move on to some of the other land. And if I back up a little bit more, and a bit more, I'll unfold while I'm backing up, and that makes it even more tricky because it's just changed the angle of the machine. Perhaps I should have unfolded first, or unfolded second. That is my timer to say that we have run out of time. There we go. Right, I know it's not completely realistic being hitched like that. I've had several people asking me to use the manual attaching mod, and there's a couple things that I don't like about the manual attaching mod that is available at the moment, and that is it doesn't just add the pipes and the other bits. There's quite the... From what I've seen of other YouTubers using the manual attaching mod, you do everything from outside of the cab. So you're picking up an 8-ton trailer and putting it onto the hitch by hand. That's not right to me. I don't like that. I'd like... obviously, I haven't tested it very much. I did test it to start with, and I couldn't unhitch the thing at all. But there's aspects of it so far that I don't really like. So I will look into it to see if we can find any parts of it that are realistic enough to keep me happy. However, at the moment, that's why I'm reluctant to use it, is because of the whole issue with the realism part of it. You wouldn't be like lifting a trailer onto the hitch by hand. So at the moment, I think it's more realistic to just do the stuff from in-cab. You wouldn't have, obviously, the PTO, you wouldn't do it from in-cab. In real life, you have to get out to do that bit. But the... well, I think you do. I don't know if there's a fast coupling method for using on PTOs now. There is fast coupling nowadays for the pipes and stuff. And basically what you do is when you hitch up the trailer, the pipes get pushed in automatically through the action of sort of backing up to the trailer. Or you've got a lever system where you just kind of present the pipes and pull a lever. Yeah, I think you get the general idea. And it's really good doing it like that because you don't have to keep fiddling around with loads of pipes. Less chance of anything getting damaged, tangled up, and so on. And it's a lot faster. Hence, it's called fast coupling. So yeah, you can do most of it from in the cab, and that is what machinery designers are trying to work towards these days. They're trying to make everything able to be done from in the cab, because the most dangerous time for any tractor driver is when you're not in the cab. When you're not in the cab, that's when accidents happen. When you get out of the cab, that's when things can go wrong. When fingers become trapped, and so on and so forth. So basically what a lot of machinery designers are trying to do, we should, I think, be able to turn sharper than that, but the machine isn't quite allowing us to. You can normally get quite a good turn on these machines, or at least you could on the ones that we used to use. I think that the hitch actually is in a little bit too far. I think the hitch should be positioned slightly further back from the main body of the Forager, and I forgot to lower it down. There we go. So it would allow you to turn sharper than what we could just then. As I've seen people turn very, very sharp with these things, and it's not had any kind of detrimental effect on the hitch. It's not become locked in any way. You can turn pretty much almost back on yourself. So I'm guessing that maybe the hitch... I mean, it might be that this particular model, this John Deere, is slightly different, and maybe there are quite a few like this, because I haven't seen very many of them being used. I've only seen a few of them being used, and the ones that I've seen are... I'm just trying to think. This is a popular brand here in the UK, and I genuinely, for the moment, I can't think for the life of me what that brand is. I really can't remember what it is. That's going to bug me now. That is really genuinely going to bug me. I'll have a think. If I can remember, I'll tell you in the next episode. So yeah, we're going to finish this bit up. What I did do, actually, we'll see if we can do it here, because I had the GPS running on here when I did this previously. I had it set on 9.3. It's remembered my setting. And so what I need is to create an offset so that the tractor drives in this position. Now, is that going to be enough offset? Is that going to be the right offset? If I come back a little bit, is that maybe right? We'll try this and see if that is the correct offset, because yeah, using the GPS, hang on, I'm going to hide the lines. I don't like having the lines. We know what they look like. So if I remove that lot there, and now we can actually see it a little bit better. And yes, we've got the offset is just right, I think. Maybe we'll nudge it over a little bit, but I'd like to be able to use this over on the next field as well. One of them I did, it's going to be kind of guesswork, getting the precise, because I basically twisted the line, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get it absolutely exact. But that is fantastic. Look at that. John Deere Forager, bright purple trailer. Yeah, this is brilliant. I really do like the bright purple that we've got going on here. This is something I'm rather pleased about. So my question for this week is, we have got, after this week, another 4 weeks before I move to a different map. And when I move to a different map, obviously there may be several jobs that we haven't completed on this one that we otherwise would have liked to have got done. So in order to speed things along a little bit, would you like me to simulate finding 100 gold nuggets and selling them like we did in Goldcrest Valley? Now, I appreciate that we don't have gold nuggets on this map, so in order to do that, what I'll have to do is simply modify the game file slightly and add €1,000,000 to this map. And that way we can buy a load of extra stuff. We can sort of speed things along a little bit just for the last few weeks of the episode here. And when we go to our new map, I will not be taking any of that extra €1,000,000 with me, because obviously that has been cheated in. So it's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below and let us know what you want. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote by mousing over in the top right hand corner and letting everybody know what you would like. Yes to the extra €1,000,000 or no to the extra €1,000,000. And I'm aware that there are several people that aren't going to like this at all, but give your convincing arguments in the comment section. It's just to sort of progress things for the final 4 weeks of this series before we move on to our new map, whatever map that might be. I will finish up this field here. There's a little bit there that the rake missed. Probably won't worry about that. So yeah, I'm going to finish up this field here, and then in our next episode we're going to be continuing with silage. And what we're going to try in the next episode is we're going to use the Zeta to, we'll drive the Zeta around, and we will have the Massey with the trailer and put that one on follow me, and follow our Zeta across the field and see how well that system works. I got a feeling it should work okay. I see no reason why it won't. And I think it could be quite entertaining trying to do it like that, mostly because I've just got the feeling it's going to end up going horribly wrong, and that's always more interesting than when it goes perfectly right every single time. But this thing, it does look fantastic. Does that not look awesome? Is that not an absolutely genuinely pleasing sight? Because I personally, I love it. I think that is fantastic. I've been waiting for this for years. I'm almost as excited about being able to do this as I was about those small bales and throwing them into the cattle by hand. It's fantastic. Anyway, I am just about out of time now, so if you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. I will let you see the final bit of this field, because I know some of you don't like me to cut it off just a fraction too early like that, so we can watch a little bit more of this. We're gonna watch this from a low down angle like that. There we go. Oh, no, we filled the trailer up. I'm going along just disappearing all of this silage into nothing. Okay, so we won't be finishing this field. We need to go and tip out the silage trailer, so I will unhit. I'll go and tip that one out. You've already seen that. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.